October 20th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Rabble.
We love the rabble.
We do. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor, also. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence.
I think we can do this.
Your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Wasted no time on this, fourth and extra day of the trial.
Well, yes, because we've had 3 main days worth, and it's a final morning.
If you watch Law & Order, granted it's not a fully accurate representation of the legal system, but you'll notice it says day 82 or whatever. Yeah, court cases tend to last a very, very, very long time. You have to reach a case where the jury is beyond a reasonable doubt of the culprit.
Depends on the type of court you're in.
True.
And depends on the type of trial as well, actually, I think. And also, obviously, there is massive variance between countries in terms of how their courts run. Obviously, this version of the court that we see is much more in line with how Japanese courts were ran around the same time.
Yeah.
But obviously, most places do tend to push for that kind of jury approach. But obviously, that can have its flaws as well, and we have to work with what we've got.
I'm surprised there aren't more, lawyer visual novel games. There probably might be a couple, but I'm not aware of them. Obviously, Phoenix Wright takes the spotlight, but going for, a proper lawyer sim game would be interesting.
It would be interesting, but I think that because, from my understanding of sort of actual law, it is a lot of, here's your 72 boxes of evidence that you've got to present to the court, and you basically spend days and days and days just going through all of it, rather than potentially having, bringing up the witnesses to present the testimony and challenging it and having all that exciting battling. It doesn't really happen in reality.
Well, that's what sim games are for. People love the rigmarole, I guess.
Yes. But I think the other thing that is at issue is... I think this is the bit that's the problem.
Yes, indeed.
Because we need to present that steak plate, wherever it is.
Here we go.
Completely forgot my train of thought, which is always helpful. The bloody steak plate got in the way.
Are you hungry, Rishi?
Well, I shouldn't be, but I probably am, yeah.
What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Got 'em. Exactly my point, dickhead. Remember, if you will. Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You ate the bone too.
You didn't eat the steak.
You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor?
She was meeting the Steel Samurai.
She could have been picking on Samurai. I think both of those options had a sliver of truth.
Yes, I agree, but the one that we want to move forward with is meeting the Steel Samurai.
Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands.
Yeah, we're just going straight in for the kill this time around. I think everyone was just like, you know, this trial and this case has lasted a very long time. Let's just, you know, get to the point.
Mm-hmm. What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. From the French petit. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon?
You couldn't, could you?
Not in the slightest.
But for one very specific reason.
Pretty much anyone would have trouble. Ha! You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. Ah! What?
Mm-hmm.
What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon.
By presenting the samurai spear, because it was broken.
I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape, the most powerful adhesive on the face of the planet. Now, tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a fit costume with this? Through the chest, no less.
Exactly.
Order! Your Honor, why do you mock my accent whenever you call for order? It's most unbecoming. Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. It's okay, he's used to being put down by more assertive women.
He very much is, and it's hilarious.
If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell, what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer?
Of course we can.
Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright.
He's not wrong on that point, but this time, thankfully, it is founded on something, and it's that 5-year-old photo.
Look at this photograph. I assure you, you will not laugh. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago, hence the 5-year-old photograph. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes.
Yep.
What happened 5 years ago? has happened again! Ah. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 on the day of the murder.
It's just the shock, and then it's just like, oh, actually, no, you're onto something. Just keep going.
Kind of spitting, really. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence, just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. I want to say she was defending herself in this instance.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of... There probably was an element of accident about it, but also, you know, she totally premeditated certain elements of how to get away with it, if anything.
Yeah, I could use a man like you on my script writing stuff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio One, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio One and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio One and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time.
There's a possibility.
It's debatable. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body?
She had another way.
What if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands? Like a fleet or flock of parrots. I call all those parrots to the stand. For instance. Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Ugh. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body.
It's the van.
There we go. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio One. And you used the studio van to do it.
I mean, it's like the easiest way to transport a body ever.
Really? I'm going to ignore what Richie just said, because it has sinister implications. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Like some of those spats during Legends Arceus. Oh, Tom, I got a van waiting for you if you don't shut the fuck up. You used the van to carry the body to Studio One. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. That's wrong. Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator?
Of course he was.
He would have had to have been. Of course, Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator.
I mean, it's a surprisingly small incinerator to be able to burn that big a costume, but sure.
Yeah, I think if it was any bigger, she would have considered hocking Hammer in there entirely. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. Huh. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Well, that was easy.
Yes, bit too easy, actually.
Huh? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean... D. Vasquez, so it was you? You killed Jack Hammer?
Just love an awkward silence, don't you?
No, I hate it. It is the bane of commentators everywhere. Are you sure I did, Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
I don't think he knows what the fuck's going on either.
Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. Irk.
Absolutely not. We cannot allow that to happen. She must testify again.
I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all that there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. Damn! To come so far, only to fail.
The thing is that there are certainly other questions that we could ask that would get us to the solution. We just needed to very much catch her off guard.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honour. I didn't.
As much as I love the cornered with just going straight into it, I do also love the cornered to failure to coming back again. It's just, classic.
Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does that make any sense to you, Your Honour? I don't see whether we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, Indeed. Verily, I say. Go. I want to hear about what happened. Oh, Christ.
I forget how funny the Ace Attorney franchise can be. Like, obviously it's always been this kooky experience, but sometimes the script is just fire when it comes to the jokes.
It really is. After all that, Edgeworth, he wants the truth.
Exactly, and this is something that we'll find is very important to Edgeworth. The truth is what matters.
I was with Sal and Oldberg, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying, "He did it!" I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home.
I think there's a problem there.
Yes, I think so too. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close, real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right, that's me.
Because if you remember, we actually had to go pick up the script.
Yes, we did.
So there's certainly a flaw there. Hold it.
The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not.
Press harder.
Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all? Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess.
Although that timeline doesn't quite work out, but sure.
Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means?
Mm-hmm.
She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Ugh. That's such an easy mistake to make.
I know, it's just like, that's like step 1 of how to try and get away with murder.
I'm keeping an eye on you, Richard. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind.
Hammer was injured.
Huh.
I think if we present a certain photo on that one, we might be able to get a little bit further with this.
Indeed. Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg this on her, Nick. Or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Alright. Let's go back to where we were before.
Yes, go back to that statement. So if we present the Powers ? Photo, I think we've got a little bit of a step there.
Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? Ugh. I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right, he must have got it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person?
Exactly, like, literally would make no sense for the director to tell him the wrong thing, so she must have seen Hammer limping.
Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but... wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. And when was he doing this? Well, it would have had to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Ah, yes. Good little bit of logic there. I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent?
I know.
Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead?
Ooh.
Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Huh. Yeah, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive?
Of course we can prove it.
Okay. I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder.
It's the 5-year-old photo.
This is my proof. This is the photo from before? This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez?
Though we're still not quite broken her yet, she hasn't had her breakdown.
Nope. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around.
Well...
what motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yeah, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder.
She had no motive from what we can prove. But all the facts do seem to line up to Hammer had motive for murder and might have been, killed in self-defense.
So Ed Tom was right all along.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years.
There it is. Although it's a very nondescript breakdown, all things considered.
Yes, I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere! We're too late! Ah, Miss Vasquez! What? What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No! No! How could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him! Miss Vasquez! No. Please, please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. So I assume Manuel was like someone she cared about at the very least.
I think that's what we're left to assume.
Yeah.
Is that she was probably having a thing with Mr. Manuel, and so that's why she took it upon herself to make Hammer's life hell.
And that's probably why she wore the veil as well, because she was in mourning. Well, I mean, that's character development in fucking Encanto.
Yes, you're not wrong.
Speaking of, you hear they're, like, considering making a second one of those?
I mean, I can totally understand why they would, because it was a very popular film that did very well. And I think there is potentially more to explore there, whether it's any good or not. Different kettle of fish, because I can't say that Disney have been smashing it with their direct sequels as of late, but we'll see how things progress.
Inside Out 2 was pretty good, I thought.
That one was, but one that's Pixar.
True.
But still, either way, we got Will Powers off, and that's what's important.
It is. Yeah, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me?
Show evidence.
Yeah, I think we got a little something. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because...
And it's the Powers' photo.
It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star, once. But he was reduced to acting in a kids' show, and as the villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai. And so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point.
Yes.
I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. Congratulations, WP. Too bad you're out of a fucking job now. Remember they were filming the last episode of The Steel Samurai?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and...
Well, I mean, they kind of incinerated that, so, you know, it's not quite that easy.
No! Oh, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth! Oh, front-facing Edgeworth. Ah!
It's very serious.
Say something, Wright. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Sniff. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. That's not a lie.
No.
I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. A line that launched 1,000 fanfics.
Exactly.
Unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you.
I mean, bit harsh, but, we'll manage.
Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? They're roommates. For now, we are, I guess. Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth?
We'll just have to wait until the next case to find out.
Oh, and what a case it will be. And so, to the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing the accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You gotta watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy the trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Oh well.